Hi, I'm Mitch Gallagher from Sweetwater. Today we're taking a look at the newest members of the popular Universal Audio Volt audio interface family. Let's get started. The Universal Audio Volt family has become super popular due to their combination of great audio quality, versatile mic preamps with vintage and modern modes, extensive suite of free bundled software, compact size, outstanding performance, and even built-in analog 1176 style compressors in certain members of the family. Today we're checking out the latest in the Volt lineup, the Volt 4 and the Volt 476p audio interfaces from Universal Audio. They include all the features of the earlier Volt models and offer new configurations that may be exactly right for your studio and applications. The Volt 4 is a 4-in, 4-out USB audio interface with class-leading 24-bit 192 kHz audio conversion for Mac, PC, iPad, and iPhone. It offers 2 preamps for microphones and instruments, and those preamps can be switched to vintage mode, which gives you the full, rich sound of a classic Universal Audio tube preamp. The preamps offer 48-volt phantom power for condenser mics and active ribbons, and there's plenty of gain for passive ribbon mics and dynamic microphones. The Volt 4 has 2 additional line-level inputs on the back panel, as well as 4 line-level outputs and a stereo pair of monitor outs. Plus, the Volt 4 has MIDI in and out for interfacing with your external MIDI gear. The front panel offers controls for inputs 1 and 2, switching for 48-volt phantom power, a mono switch for centering the audio in your monitors or headphones when you're tracking or overdubbing, source select for monitoring, and a large monitor level control knob. A headphone output with its own dedicated volume control rounds things out. You've got direct monitoring capability, which provides latency-free performance when overdubbing. The Volt 476p is the new flagship in the Universal Audio Volt line. It offers a similar feature set to the Volt 4 and the same rugged metal construction, but it offers 4 microphone preamps, all switchable to vintage mode, and 2 headphone outs, each with independent volume control. But the big deal here is that the 476p includes UA's analog 76 compressor circuit, which allows you to add classic 1176 style compression to your input signals as you're recording. 3 presets are provided for voice, guitar, and fast for optimizing the compressor's response to the signals you're recording. You also get onboard input and output metering for all 4 channels. The 76 compressor is super useful, and when combined with the preamp vintage mode, gives you the sound of a classic recording chain. In fact, you've been hearing the preamp in vintage mode with the 76 compressor in voice mode on my voice throughout the video using this Universal Audio SD1 microphone. Here are some examples for you of the various settings on the preamps and compressor as well. What you're hearing is the Universal Audio SD1 dynamic microphone into the Volt 476p audio interface. Now I'll engage vintage mode. Now what you're hearing is the Universal Audio SD1 dynamic microphone into the 476p audio interface with vintage mode engaged. Now I'll turn off vintage mode and engage the 76 compressor in vocal mode. What you're hearing is the Universal Audio SD1 dynamic microphone into the Volt 476p audio interface with the 76 compressor in vocal mode. Now I'll engage vintage mode as well. What you're hearing is the Universal Audio SD1 dynamic microphone into the Volt 476p audio interface in vintage mode with the 76 compressor set to vocal mode. Now what you're hearing is a Fender bass directly into the Universal Audio Volt 476p audio interface. Here's the bass in vintage mode. Now we'll switch on the 76 compressor and switch off vintage mode. We'll put the compressor in guitar mode. Now we'll switch the compressor to fast mode. Now I'll engage vintage mode and go back to guitar mode on the compressor. Both the Volt 4 and the Volt 476P come with a powerful suite of free software. You get Ableton Live Lite, the Softtube Marshall Plexi Classic Amp plugin, the Softtube Time and Tone bundle, Celemony Melodyne Essential, the Relay LX480 Essentials Reverb plugin, Plugin Alliance's Ampeg SVT VR Classic Bass Amp plugin, Brainworks BX Tuner and BX Masterdesk Classic, plus Virtual Drummer Deep, Virtual Bassist Dandy, and Spitfire Audio Labs virtual instruments. Great new additions to the free software that come with all the Volt audio interfaces are Universal Audio's must-have Teletronics LA2A classic leveling amplifier, as well as their Pure Plate, which is a great-sounding vintage-style plate reverb. Plus, you get a 30-day free trial to Universal Audio's UAD Spark, so you can check out their library of world-class plugins and virtual instruments. I hope you've enjoyed this look at the latest members of Universal Audio's popular Volt family of USB audio interfaces. The Volt 4 and the Volt 476P are great-sounding interfaces that come in at great prices. Whether you're recording albums, live streaming, podcasting, recording on the go, or looking to capture your latest inspiration, the Volt 4 and the Volt 476P offer everything you need for great-sounding recordings on your Mac, PC, or iOS device. Thanks for joining me today. I'm Mitch Gallagher. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Click here for more videos like this, or start at sweetwater.com for all your music instrument and pro audio needs.